Good morning, pregame crew. How are ya? It is Wednesday, March 20th, 2024, 6:22 a.m. Mountain Time, 8:22 a.m. Eastern Time. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you, Night Truck. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, notify button, just hit a fun button. Good morning, Fat N, Shake and Bake, Hector, Tom, Greg, Adam, Fat N. Oh, already said hello to you. Hey, Nugget, KK, Matthew, Donald, Mike. Hey, Sam, Dino, Matthew, Fried Egg, Ryan. Thank you. Hey, Dino. Let's go back up to the top. Yeah, PDD is having a huge bullish reaction to earnings. Huge. Yeah, we're over this resistance. Next resistance is 152.99. The 52-week high. CGC is green this morning. A little erratic. Need to hold 396 on any pullback for gap rules in order to keep this gap up as strong as possible. ARM, of course, Nugget. ARM has a daily EQ. 121.38 is the key support. Yesterday we had a double bottom at that level. On the weekly, we are looking for a higher low. 4-hour grazed oversold here, but really didn't get oversold. I don't know, Nugget. I've been having a hard time with ARM lately. I've been avoiding it. I just have that ominous feeling that SoftBank is going to unload all of their shares. So it just has been heavier than some of the other semis. So it's just been hard for me to get a grip on it. Doesn't mean that others can. I just haven't been able to. Hey, KK. My sweet Nugget. Intel is up on the CHIPS Act. They're getting the funding from the government. I think they just got their first round. 41.48, 41.44. Weekly double bottom. That becomes the level to hold. We've made enough room for higher lows on pullbacks, so now it's all about 42.29, the high of yesterday, that on any pullback we maintain that to keep the strongest uptrend. $43.38 breaks daily resistance. Lost my place. Okay, Intel, there it is. What the SPG SCI? What the? My little nephew knows he can't curse and he'll say, what the heck? Monthly low or high is the more likely scenario as you have EMAs trapping you overhead. This is a bearish reversal candle forming on the weekly, unconfirmed. Daily, we're looking for a higher low. 4-hour downtrend, hourly downtrend oversold. Looking for the daily higher low. So you're getting close to a bottom fish area. SMCI price they're offering at $8.75 a share. Weekly, we are looking for a higher low. 4-hour is oversold. That's typically where you look for it. This is a tough one because we have news with it. It has that offering, so it's going to be a tough one for oversold bounce. It absolutely could work, and if anything can do it, it's SMCI. So we'll see. It's holding the low of yesterday, which is impressive with the news. Paula. Hey, Mal. Keggers. I did CGC. I already did it. I'm assuming you're talking about Bitcoin critical mass. Yeah, it's getting its bounce going. We're over the EMAs on the hourly chart. 4-hour potential lower high compared to 65769. So your next opportunity for entry is a pullback for the 4-hour potential higher low. We'll get started here in 2 minutes. Crowd is getting a lower wick here right at the daily 50 EMA as bulls are buying that dip there. Weekly's fine. Daily's in a downtrend. 4-hour sideways. It's pretty choppy and there was no squeezes for me on this one, so I didn't put it on my list. I did go look at it because I like the way this thing moves. But 321.48 is your resistance, and then support is 310.22. You're getting over the hourly 50 EMA, which I call the Great Wall of Louisiana. So that looks good. Rising tides lift all boats. So crowd is going to be a boat in the tide that is Apple SMH. If all of those can lift, it can lift crowd with it. And that's how I view some of these outlying software companies that are loosely tied with S&P and QQQ that aren't as heavily weighted. That's kind of how I view it. Hey, Paul, I'm doing great. Great night's sleep. It was wonderful. Went to bed at 8, got up at 4. It was a beautiful, good night's sleep. Am I the only one that has a weird pillow, like gotta have all these different pillows to sleep? I just got a pillow cube for side sleepers. It's amazing. I gotta have all these certain pillows. I think that comes with age. Like every year I add a different pillow to my routine, AMR. And it helped me sleep well last night. Fun fact. Thanks, Joe. AMR, Benita. Potential daily bear flag. That's not a good look there. Weekly downtrend. Oh, this is coal. Monthly, we're looking for a higher low. Daily's not oversold yet. It may take this daily bear break. Bear flag, breaking bear without a ton of follow through. Get oversold to get your monthly higher low. Right now, it doesn't look too spiffy. You do too, Rav? Okay, it's not just me. You yeah, my husband calls it the roadblock, the barricade. I'm telling you, the pillow cube on Amazon is unbelievable. Exactly. Y'all ready to get started? Let's get this show on the road. Now, I'm glad you're here, Rav. All right, who am I? This is who I am. I'm Chart Gal Lori, and I'm part of the Chart Guys community, and we teach technical analysis. If you want to give me a follow on X at Chart Gal Lori, that'd be lovely. Check us out at chartguys.com. Lots of free education. We have an MJ corner. We're building a crypto corner. We just want to provide lots of resources, and if you want to join our community, great. If not, just kind of look to us as a resource. All right. Let's get started with the table. The table is overly green. Yesterday, we saw that it was very balanced going into FOMC. If I just look at ES alone, we're still very balanced. When I add all these other variables and correlations, we're not as balanced. It's more bullish. But look, higher high, higher low. Higher high, lower, start over. Higher high, higher low, lower high, higher low, and we have not broken the 52, 53, 50. So on SPY, we broke this bullish by 22 cents yesterday. We did not do that in futures. It's more important to do that in futures because futures trades 23 hours a day. So ES, we have a perfect equilibrium going into today's big events. And if you're like, what's today's big events? FOMC, interest rate decision right here. Powell at 2 p.m. Eastern will get the statement, and then at 2:30 we will have the press conference. And TCG members, I'll hop on the mic for this and we'll kind of walk through it live for the press conference for any type of volatility that we expect. If you're a TCG member, let me show you this real quick. Let me pull it. So if you're a TCG member, you can go to the website and just click search and type anatomy, and you can get an anatomy of an FOMC reaction. If you've been a part of pregame for the last 2 years, you've heard me talk about this ad nauseum about the first reaction's not usually the real reaction. The second, it's algos. The second reaction is humans after cooler heads have prevailed. And the third reaction is the real reaction after people have had time to marinate, and that's usually the day after. So anatomy of an FOMC reaction, if you want to check that out, Chart Guys members, then you can kind of see what the typical process is of FOMC. Okay, that's the technical breakdown. Now let me give you my slang. Let me tell you what today is. Today is New Trader Donation Day. This is tuition day for aggressive, newer traders. So today, if you're a newer trader and you decide to trade today, this is donation day. You're going to donate to more experienced traders. I'm not trying to be smug or rude. It's just the truth. How do I know? Because I've donated. I've donated on multiple FOMC days. Don't be like Lori. So this is tuition day for aggressive traders who don't have their footing and solid process. This is your day to donate and pay tuition to professional experienced traders and our computers. So paper trade it, sit out. This is what we call a caution day. This is a day where it's a binary event. No one knows what's going to happen unless you're sleeping with Jerome Powell, and then you probably still don't know. It's a caution day. We don't know what's going to happen. Binary event. So the probabilities are that he, as in the whole FOMC committee, will not raise rates. So if you go to CME Group, there's a free CME Fed Watch tool. And for today, March 20th, there's a 99% chance that there will be no change right there. No change. There's a 1% chance of a cut. Thanks, Rav. So if we are anticipating no change. If there is a cut, that would be unexpected. But let me tell you, the market has been pricing in cuts this year. It's been pricing it in. That's what this climb higher has been. So we could have a spike on an unexpected cut and then still come back in. I would think more bullish than bearish if we had a cut. Now the no change, how much is that already priced in? We don't know. We're set up for a great trading day and great volatility and great range. If you're a day trader, you need range. You have to have range. It's got to move. You're not going to find a lot of day traders that trade utilities, for example, or real estate, or even banks for that matter. Banks sometimes move slower. You need something with great range. And when things get tight and start compressing, when they release that pressure, you get that range. So that's what today is all about. Traders that have the experience at FOMC, interest rate decisions, volatility, these are great days to have a double, single, double, even a home run sometimes. Okay, so stair steps are your best friend, your absolute best friend. If I'd go back and look at January was the last meeting, you would see stair steps. So if you don't know what a stair step is, you can go to our YouTube channel and stair step Chart Guys and watch Dan's video. It is a wonderful technique to use, especially during FOMC. And you can do it on the 1 minute or 2 minute chart. And you can stay with the trend until it reverses on the stair step, and then you can reverse with the trend. So my best advice, if you have experience, you're like, I'm trying to hone it in, stair step is your very best friend today. And if you don't remember anything else I say today, remember that. Stair step is your very best friend today. All right, that's enough about FOMC. Not that that's enough, but so we typically have a lot of balance. I know y'all remember yesterday I typed at the bottom of the med table saying, expect a balanced day. FOMC, our table was 72 to 67 yesterday, very balanced, which you would expect going into FOMC. Look at the volume yesterday. We were, 15% below average. Look at QQQ. We were only about 2-3% below average, but volume tends to go down before these large events. If you have large money at stake, would you put it to work the day before FOMC? No. Would you put it to work the morning of FOMC? No. So typically you're going to have tightening ranges this morning. They're going to continue to tighten. Typically you'll have equilibriums going into FOMC, and volatility just kind of dries up, waiting for this interest rate decision. And then that's, as my grandma would say, that's when business picks up. Thank you, Rav. I appreciate that. So Rav right here in chat, he did the stair-step strategy video. I can't pin it right now because the heart's in the way, but I'll pin that later and it'll go to the top of chat so you can see that one, because that one's a really important one. All right, so back to ES. Let's go to a shorter term time frame. So on the 4 hour, we did get a higher high, but we were still unable to take out the 52.53, which is the daily resistance. No harm, no foul. Potential 4 hour bull flag looks fine. NQ, 4 hour equilibrium. So higher high, higher low. We don't know if this is our lower high. Will we continue to tighten? Most likely, yes. I told you I'm going to stop asking myself questions and answering it because I think that's obnoxious, and I've done it a few times already, so sorry. Okay. On RTY, this could be an early inverse head and shoulders pattern. We'll see. Yesterday, we drew this daily 50 MA. How cute is that that's where we paused? Right there. Within $3 of it. God, I love TA. So this happened this happened right when we were doing the pregame show yesterday. And we said, hey, the daily 50 MA is right here. This would be the logical place for a reversal. And that's where we got it. Dow is real strong comparatively. This is a potential 4 hour bull flag. Y'all look at this squeeze. Look at this squeeze. Look how we're holding the 50 RSI. This is a powerful chart. Dow has got some punch ready to be delivered. The squeeze is a directionless indicator. It doesn't indicate bull or bear. It just indicates that whichever way it breaks, expect incoming volatility. Yeah, I started. Yeah, I did. Okay, now the stair-step strategy is pinned to chat. It's right here at top. And I would click on that and I would save it and rewatch it and rewatch it. Okay, so we broke bear out of this equilibrium we had yesterday, and now we have a little 4 hour bear flag potentially forming on VIX. That is good for the overall market. We are turning a little bit green on VIX. That's because people are starting to buy insurance, volatility. They buy insurance against their larger positions to hedge against the FOMC reaction. We were slightly green on the Hang Seng. We are green on DAX. Bitcoin is getting its bounce going. Come on, Bitcoin. It's getting its bounce going. On the 4 hour, you could say that this is early pattern recognition. We're getting a little inverse head and shoulders here. We got the left shoulder, the head, and then we'll see if we form a right shoulder. Bitcoin will likely be impacted by FOMC. So just because you're trading crypto, don't think that you're immune or protected from the FOMC reaction, because I don't think you are. Ethereum's having a little bit better of a bounce, but they also are forming a potential 4 hour inverse head and shoulders. Dollar is on fire, absolute fire. If we go back to the table, this was the only thing that was a bear check for the market, was the dollar strength. So if you're a metals bull, you're not having the best this morning. I mean, it's holding up pretty well in all fairness. This is a potential 2-day bull flag on gold. Gold is impacted greatly by FOMC typically, and this is what I will typically trade. That's why Lori Carlson, I call her Nugget, because I was calling out a Nugget trade on FOMC day and she took it and crushed it. So now I call her Nugget. But GDX and gold are two of my favorite instruments to play on FOMC day in both directions using stair step. Oil is getting crushed. So there was an uptrend line last night. I could draw, let's see. It broke bear overnight, and so now we've lost our 4-hour uptrend on oil. The question is, and we won't have it answered for a while, is this the monthly low or high? Well, it helps that we've lost the 4-hour uptrend. That's step one, in that's possibly the 4-hour low or high, which is what I was looking for on Monday, and I was a couple days early. So on the next bounce, if you want to look for a short on oil, that would be logical. Looking for a top fish on oil totally makes sense. That's weird. I have oil on another screen, and I'm seeing my drawings on that screen. It's weird. Okay, nat gas. Nat gas still has this tightening range here on the daily. Oh, why do I waste my time with this? As a 4-hour squeeze. Let's see if they can change the character of their chart. All right, Apple. Tauntaun, yes, I think SMCI 875 creates a support level where they're pricing the share offering. The closer it holds to 875 and doesn't break, I still think that's pretty bullish. When you break 875, I think that's bearish. And why did I stop and answer Tauntaun's question? Because he is a TCG member and they get preferential treatment, and I'm not ashamed of it. Kind of like what I do with my kids. I tell them which one I like more. Just kidding. Kind of. So on Apple, we're still not above the daily 26 EMA. Nice lower wick on yesterday's candle. 4-hour equilibrium. Considering the recovery on Apple yesterday, it's not bearish to me. That would have been a difficult task. We talked about it yesterday morning. For us to open up this low and then go take out the prior day high is a tall order. But come back down and then take another second crack at it, that makes sense. I like Apple. I like Apple for a continued bounce. Amazon I didn't like yesterday, and they had a good recovery. So Amazon on the daily, we have our daily higher low at 171.47. We did a peak below the daily inside bar, and then we recovered very nicely. Little 4-hour bull flag potential as we hover right below yesterday's low. Okay, NVIDIA, oh, they went red. NVIDIA is right here, closer to yesterday's high than low. They got about 4 or 5 upgrades this morning. I still like NVIDIA. I like the squeeze, and I normally don't look at squeezes in pre-market, but NVIDIA has enough volume that I think it's valid. The squeeze is valid. I have 5 minutes to rip through these charts, because I'll have to sign off and go over to our chat room to start that live stream. So NVIDIA, I still like NVIDIA long. Yes, it broke the daily EQ bearish. But come on, that's a potential weekly bull flag. When we have bear break fakes without a lot of follow through, we zoom out to the higher time frame, look for the bull flag, and that's what we got. Tesla daily inside bar yesterday. We're opening up closer to yesterday's high than low. Let's see if Tesla can continue its dead cat bounce, which I think is possible. We shall see what the appetite is. AMD, Queen of the Mountain trade. Yesterday, you're going to remember that I was droning on and on about XBI, IWM, about looking for the weekly higher low while we're at the daily 50 EMA while 4 hours oversold. Let me say it again. We're looking for the weekly higher low in this area, logical area to begin scouting it. We're at the daily 50 EMA, which I highly respect, and 4 hour is oversold. Is this a 4 hour bear flag, or is this the beginning of the bounce on AMD? I like AMD long today. If we could get a flush of well, no, actually that's not going to happen. We're gapping up, so gap rules apply. So scratch that flush, but I still like AMD long. Google, let me get back to my notes. Google has a squeeze here on the hourly chart. I like the squeeze. I'm not a huge fan of this big gap below, but I am a fan of this squeeze and this tightening pattern. You'll know quickly if you're wrong. on how this breaks. If you join it long or short, you'll know quickly if you're wrong or right. Oracle, we still have a trade going on in the room. From Monday, we traded this for profit, and now I'm risk-free on 20% of my position, and we're gapping up now. We are gapping up to all-time highs, so we'll see if we hold this gap. Gap rules apply. I like Oracle long for continuation. Roku, we traded this yesterday in the room successfully, and we have that powerful 4-hour squeeze. This still squeezing. I'm still looking for continuation and more out of this pattern. Snow, hey, Ganja Cat, how are ya? Snow had a downgrade this morning, so it's kind of confusing. If you're like, what the heck you doing, Lori? They had a downgrade. I like Snow. I like yesterday's candle. We have a stair-step pattern. If we're breaking over 157.84 and we're pretty oversold on the daily, we're still at 27. I like this for a potential long, maybe a pullback buy. We'll see. This one's going to be a tougher setup. It's not crystal clear what the trigger is, so be careful. Finally, Walmart has a high compression squeeze. Look at these orange dots. It has a potential 2-day bull flag. I like this. So Walmart's one of my top watches, Snow, Roku, and AMD. Look at that high compression squeeze. And I'm favoring the long side. It'll be a difficult day trying to get something in the morning. Don't force it because of FOMC later. Thank you so much. Hit that like button, folks. There are 300 of you and only 100 likes. Come on now. Give me a like. All right, TCGers, I'll see you in 12 minutes. And use stop losses.